This is Spud here from HitStandNow.com, coming at you with another quick hit. I got word today that today is the 25th anniversary of the release of Nintendo's Game Boy. Now, me personally, I'm in the right age bracket to remember the Game Boy when it was hot, when it kind of came out first, you know. It was a year or two before I actually got my hands on one, though. I would have been in primary school at the time. I got one Christmas, and Nintendo Game Boy was my gateway into video games. Everything you see behind me here, this collection, this fucking Space Invaders t-shirt, this damn video, everything about it, all video game related, and started from my original Game Boy way back in the 90s. I used to love it. I got it first with Tetris, which I loved. I'm a big Tetris fan, even though I'm absolute muck at Tetris. I might not play it as much as other Tetris fans do. I kind of respect it from a distance because I'm terrible at it. I got it with that, and I got it with Fortress of Fear, which was a little Dungeons and Dragons type game. It was a side-scrolling platformer where you played as a knight in shining armor, and you had to beat the shit out of all sorts of demons and shit. I remember it blew my mind at the time. I thought it was so fucking difficult. You know, you were taking out spiders and massive bosses, one of which might have been a chicken. It was probably something cool like a phoenix or a fucking hawk or something. It looked like a chicken to me. And taking out skulls and stuff. And you know, it was the first time I really held the game in my hand and thought, this isn't just a game, this is a fucking adventure, man. This is something else, you know, this is taking me places. And I absolutely loved Fortress of Fear. I also have a lot of love for the original Super Mario Land. Even though I know it's frowned upon. It is frowned upon because it's very different from your regular Mario games. Even the extra lives coming out as hearts instead of green mushrooms. But then again, how would you put green mushrooms on a fucking car that doesn't have colour? You know. I love the original Mario Land. And I think Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins is one of the best games. It's one of my all-time favourites. I absolutely love it. You know, eating carrots to get rabbit ears so you could fly, it all made perfect sense. It was such a good game, and it was such a Mario game. Where the first one, like I said, it's kind of frowned upon because it wasn't very Mario. 6 Golden Coins really was, though. I remember pumping a lot of hours into Double Dragon, which probably, looking back at it now, probably sparked my love for side-scrolling brawlers, the likes of Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Altered Beast, Captain Commando, Final Fight. I love that style. I always have done. And I reckon Double Dragon on Game Boy was probably my introduction to that. I played a lot of Double Dragon on Game Boy, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great little game. There were a lot of great games on the Game Boy. Of course, Pokemon deserves a mention, even though I didn't play it when it was on Game Boy. I didn't play it until just a couple of years ago on DS. But just because of the monster it's become, would mention it. I remember playing a little game called Mercenaries, which I could not understand at all. You played as 4 little characters going across screen, and you could arrange them in different formations to try and take out hordes of bad guys. It was a little too complex for my tiny little brain at the time. I was more into, what was it called? Was it Buster Bust Loose? No, Babda's Big Break. Tiny Toons, Babda's Big Break. I played a lot of that on Game Boy. I loved that game. You know, that's one I wish I still had. I got that from my birthday when I was, maybe 7 or 8 years old, you know? The Game Boy, it deserves a little hats off. And now look at it, it's 25 years old. It's all grown up. And it's spawned an absolute generation of gamers. Myself and tons of others like us, where this was the portal into gaming for us. This is what opened it all up. You know, I dropped out of handheld gaming for a long time until the DS came out, and nowadays, looking at the DS and 3DS and even Game Boy Advance, they are kind of the last bastion of a lot of gaming styles, a lot of 2D styles, a lot of JRPG styles. You know, that don't get onto big consoles anymore, the home consoles. Instead, they're always on handhelds, and handhelds is kind of keeping it real for a lot of genres that just can't make it anymore. You know, it's keeping a lot of things alive, and again, it's all because of the Game Boy. You wouldn't have had your Game Gears and your PSPs and your Vitas or anything else if the Game Boy hadn't have done it first. Nintendo got the foot in the door, and in my opinion, handheld is still their strongest suit. You know, it's still where all the Nintendo power really comes from. So, 25 years later, hats off to the original Game Boy. It's a little gem. This is Spud from hits.net.com. Thanks for watching more about hits.net.com Quick Hits. We do these pretty much on a weekly basis. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Of course, you can also check out hits.net.com where we have reviews, previews, interviews, all sorts of views. We also have our now infamous monthly podcast. You can catch up with us on Facebook /hits.now or @hits.now on Twitter. Thank you very much.